Well, without further ado, let's get to the first listener phone call.
This is Kenneth Eng calling from California, listening on GCN. Neil deGrasse Tyson said there are green objects in space, such as nebulae, but based on my research, these are mostly false color images. Are there any naked eye objects in space that would appear green without any type of false color or telescopes? Also, I understand that certain animals can see ultraviolet and infrared. Would this mean the visual spectrum will be larger for them, and therefore something that appears orange to us would appear red or yellow to them? For example, would a bee or a wasp see violet as blue and blue as green, based on the fact their spectrum is stretched? Or would it be possible the spectrum is flipped so that blue is red and red is blue? One last thing, if there are no green stars out there, wouldn't the discovery of a green star prove that it's manufactured by alien life? Thank you for your time.
Well, you ask a mouthful of questions, so let's try to break it down one by one. First of all, the human eye can only see really three colors. Now, you may say to yourself, that's kind of stupid. Everybody knows there's yellow and brown and magenta and pastel and all sorts of colors, and you're telling me that we can only see three colors? And that's right. If you take a look at the eyeball, there are basically three sensors there that sense red, green, and blue, the primary colors. All the other colors are mixtures of those three. Now, it turns out that some women can see a fourth color. There's a mutation which allows some women to actually see more colors than just three. But that's rare. Now, if you don't believe me, go to a TV set, especially the old ones, and look very carefully at the screen, and you'll see that the screen does not consist of hundreds of different colors at all. No, it consists of dots. Each dot is either red, blue, or green, the primary colors. Now, what is it that when you see yellow? Yellow, in some sense, is not a true color. It's a mixture of red, green, and blue. And so when you see yellow, you're not really seeing yellow in its true entirety. You're seeing an approximation to yellow. Now, take a look at the colors of the rainbow. When we were children, we learned about Roy G. Biv. The colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, violet. Roy G. Biv. And so these are all the colors of the spectrum, but your eyeball can only see three colors. Everything else is a combination of those three colors. So therefore, when you look at brown, you're not really looking at the elemental brown. You're looking at an approximation to brown. Now, look at the colors of stars. The colors of stars also go Roy G. Biv, because according to the Maxwell-Planck distribution of frequencies, color corresponds to energy. Blue is more energetic than red. Red has the least amount of energy. Blue has the most amount of energy. So something that is red hot is only maybe a few thousand degrees, but something that is blue hot can be tens of thousands of degrees. Now, if you don't believe me, get a match. Light a match, and you see that at the bottom of the flame is bluish, and at the top of the flame, it is reddish, which is exactly the colors of the rainbow. So the colors of the rainbow are there every time you see a fire. At the bottom of the flame is blue. At the top of the flame, it is red. Now, you asked about animals. It turns out that bees can see another color that we cannot, ultraviolet. Now, how do you prove that? Well, take a look at a flame. At the bottom of the flame is blue, but if you look very carefully, you'll see that the flame is, for the most part, floating invisibly above the wick. It's unattached. Amazing. So the flame is actually not the true flame. The flame is a column of hot gas, the bottom of which you cannot see. It's invisible, and that's called ultraviolet. And then the top of the flame is red, but there is a color beyond red, and that is infrared. And so your eyeball can only see a range of colors within a flame. You cannot see the entire flame at all. So next time you see a flame, look at the bottom and see that it's not attached to the wick at all, because there's ultraviolet radiation there. Now, bees can see ultraviolet radiation. Why? Because when the sun is covered or overcast, or when the sun is uncovered, the bees have to be able to lock on to nectar. They have to know where the flower beds are, whether or not there's clouds or not. Ultraviolet will go right through clouds. And that's why bees can see more colors than you. Bees can see the colors of flowers in ultraviolet as well. Now, some people think that nature created flowers to please humans. Well, not necessarily. Flowers are older than humans. Flowers go back before the dinosaurs. And so it means that the colors of flowers were not really created for our benefit, but for the benefit of insects, which have lived on the planet Earth much longer than us, and insects see colors that we cannot. So therefore, when you see the colors of flowers, you're only looking at a tiny fragment of the true colors of flowers, which can be in the ultraviolet range. So sorry about that. You do not see the universe as it really is. You see only a sliver of the universe with your eyeball. Well, once again, you can get on Science Fantastic by giving us a call. The hotline number is 612-564-8135. Leave your name. Call later to the radio station you're listening to.